morning, and we're here again for a little breakfast chat. We're the 18th of May, and I haven't chatted with you until now, so I'm getting the vlogs just right. What have I been up to this month? I'm trying to make one class per month on Skillshare these days. No particular reason. I guess I just want to stabilize my income. So last month I made... I talked about you with that because it was the insects on the disposable pencils. So I made that class last month, and this month I made something that is more classic. I actually looked up what people were possibly interested in, and a lot of people are interested in watercolors and florals. And right now we have the most gorgeous red roses outside on our terrace. So I went with that. I explained how to draw them, ink and paint them. My work is quite drawing heavy, so I don't do just the painting part, I do a lot of drawing. And in general, I would say drawing is the most difficult, but also the most important part of a painting, as in once you have your drawing right, the rest is mostly coloring. So I really wanted to focus on that in the class. I always tend to give outlines so people can have fun, and I always explain how to draw a little, but this time I really tried to dig in a little bit deeper. We'll see how it goes, but it's done, so I'm really happy. I finished it yesterday. Didn't do a lot of oil paintings so far this month. I made one study that I really liked, a little plant on cardboard. So I think that's quite interesting, and I really want to dive into that to make a whole series. And of course, I'm working on the solo show, so I've been working on a lot of books. And there's the mushroom game. So the mushroom game is going to be on June 11th. It's a yearly event where artists all around the world do mushroom-related art and then, put it outside for people to find and keep. And I've been participating for 2 years already, so this is going to be my 3rd year. And I'm almost done, but not quite. I hope to finish it today, so this should be good. I've also ordered a huge amount of secondhand books about climate change, deforestation, all that fun stuff for my solo show. I understand that the book sculptures, when they're more fairy tale-like, are probably going to sell better. I want to talk about the topic I'm most interested in, and so I figured, why not use books about that issue and books that have been out for a long time. So the oldest one is from the 70s, 70 to 50 years exactly. It's The Limits of Growth. It's such an important book in the whole discussion, and it's still relevant today, even more than ever, because basically they predicted more or less whatever is happening now based on math. I want to read the book, and hopefully there are some pages that could be transformed into paintings. We will see, I'm not sure yet. So now I have a huge reading list, and I'm currently still reading this book, The Mushroom at the End of the World, and I really like it. I didn't expect it to be that type of book. It's quite political. It's basically a reflection on what could happen in the ruins of capitalism, on the example of the Matsutake mushroom, which is a mushroom that only grows in devastated forests that have been disturbed by humans. And so the book is a little all over the place, and that's how that person wanted to write it. And honestly, I really like it. It's really interesting. I've been enjoying this book. It's actually quite a fast read. So I have to finish this one and then read all the others. So I have to kind of change my schedule a bit. Don't spend so much time watching YouTube videos and read more over the next weeks. I don't think I can make it to read all of these books before the end of May. That's too much. But yeah, that's kind of the goal. On that note, I'm going to have breakfast and then finish the mushroom sculpture, and then probably books. So this is the finished artwork that you saw me work on so far in this video. And this one is a bit more special to me than usually because it's very local. So the inspiration is the local seaside. I have some barnacles here. As you can see, I found these on the beach and they're almost exact in size, and they're, well, since I had the reference in my hand, they ended up being quite realistic. Same for these shells, and we also have oysters. Now oysters, you have to stylize them a little because otherwise they're not as pretty. And of course sea anemones and my usual kind of things. So yeah, I quite like how this one ended up. I cut into the book and added more and went with a very blue color scheme. So yeah, and this one you can actually hang on the wall, and I'm actually working on 4 books that you can hang on the wall. So these are the 4 books that I'm going to put onto the wall for my solo show. So I really wanted something to have on the wall because otherwise I thought it would be a bit sad. I didn't want to have only standing sculptures, I really wanted something on the wall. And I'm still thinking of doing paintings, but yeah, these are going on the wall. So the blue one is the only one that is truly finished. This one you're going to see in a few minutes a little bit more on the process of this one. I quite like it, but it's it's not finished. Kind of struggle on this one, and I really wanted to finish it for today's video, but alas, it's not happening. This one is almost done. I made a chrysalid. It's actually dry and just have to paint it. The only struggle that I have a little bit on this one is how I'm going to fix everything to the book. But yeah, it's almost finished and I'm going to keep it fairly simple. And then I have the mint one, and I worked on this one while a photographer friend was taking pictures of it. So kind of have to wait for him to come back in order to continue. And I made a lot of slime mold inspired shapes, and honestly I'm not sure where it's going. But yeah, it's going to be mint, and those 4 colors are colors that I really like, that I actually use a bit in my own home decoration, so to speak. So yeah, I thought it would be fun to have these on the wall. Yeah, let me know what you think of these. I think they're quite fun. Now, in practice, I suppose you would need to probably frame them somehow with, you know, a custom-made frame and some glass. I will just put them like this on the wall, and then people can do whatever they want with it. You don't have to put it on your wall, you can also just lay it flat, so that works as well. That's pretty much it for this idea. Books on the wall. The other thing I have worked on this month that I really enjoy are oil paintings or oil studies, really. Those two here specifically, so the bottom one is not quite finished yet. It's daisies on trash, and as you can see, it's very non-contrasty. It lacks shadows and colors, and it's overall a bit bland. And the top one was just a study of one of my plants, so nothing fancy. Now, what I like about those two is I use cardboard. So it's simply cardboard that I gessoed and then I applied oil painting on top. So I quite like how rough it is. I especially like this here, these edges. As you probably know by now, I do like to work on trash in my work. And the combination between cardboard and oil painting, I find that quite striking, to be honest. I like how it looks, I like how it feels. I've been getting really into oil paintings because of the whole Evolve course that I'm following currently, but this will be the topic of another video. It's very different from me than watercolors because it's slow and watercolor is a lot faster. I also feel that in watercolors I've been trying to follow more the lead of the watercolor, as usually if you let it flow a little bit with water, it does things on your own. With oils, you don't have that. It's very technical in the sense that you don't get any surprises. You know, when you lay down a brush stroke, then the brush stroke is there. And if you want to layer things, there are certain rules to follow, which I'm still learning, especially since the course I'm following is not about layering, but I am, of course, interested in layering. So I've had a lot of fun with oil paintings. I don't have a lot of time for them because I do try to focus on my solo show with the books that you've seen mostly in today's vlog. It's very enjoyable. I think I've been learning to enjoy paint a lot. I recently had an interview with Deutsche Welle, which will be aired somewhen in a few weeks. I will probably just link it at least here on my YouTube channel and talk about it when it's out. And they asked about using different materials, and for me it's really when I sculpt and when I paint, the thought process is very different. So when you sculpt, you focus on shape and hue and you have structural aspects, so you cannot do anything that is too heavy or too light or too thin, so you have like reality hits in, you cannot do anything that you like. Whereas in painting or drawing, you are more free in terms of shapes. You don't really have to worry about structures. However, you have to worry about lights and shadows. So the thought process of sculpting and painting are vastly different, and I always feel like it's kind of like taking a small holiday from one when I do the other, and I really enjoy that. I really like to go from one medium to the other and just switch here and there. I just find it very enriching, and I also feel that as an artist, really taking drawing and painting more seriously and really honing my skills there has made me a better sculptor and a better artist in general. So I can only encourage you to pick up drawing and painting, especially drawing, because it is a basic skill for a reason. And it took me a while to understand that. I mean, I used to draw more as a teenager. It was realism, nothing very interesting. But yes, kind of stopped drawing, and now recently I've gotten more into very precise technical drawing and close to references. But I also realize now that, and especially you can see that on the daisies on the plastic trash one, it's entirely too realistic, so it's not my style anymore. So I was joking with a friend about that. It feels like I've lost my creativity. It's not that, it's just like I think I got a little bit sidetracked by the precision. I do like to loosen up a little bit in my artwork, so I'm not really into hyperrealism. I like it personally when I see it in others' artwork, but I don't want to do that. I like to surf onto a very thin line between realistic enough that you can actually recognize what it is or what it represents, but at the same time it's just loose enough so you like dip a feet into surrealism without being surrealistic. So I kind of like that very fine line. And another thing that I wanted to talk about before wrapping up this video are the books. So we are in June already. So the original plan was to always make one monthly vlog, but it's just like it's slightly moved every month, and so that's just life, right? I have not even finished the Mushroom at the End of the World book that I talked about just a few minutes ago for you, but for me a few weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. I'm close to finishing, but yeah, I haven't. I hope I will be finished before this video goes live on Friday, and then I really have to attack the books. So I'm thinking next month, next vlog, I'm going to impose myself a challenge of reading, I'm thinking 2 or 3 hours a day. I think that should be enough to kind of like get through at least a few books, and at the same time not too much, so I can still work on my artwork, work on videos and so on. So yeah, that's the goal for next month. In any case, thank you so much for joining me in today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed listening to my process and my thoughts working slowly up to my solo show in Australia, which I think I'm going to go to. I'm actually in the works of getting a workshop or hosting a workshop in Melbourne, which would be great because then that would kind of ease the cost of going to Australia, because it's very expensive on top of being not very environmental friendly. But yeah, right now I'm thinking Australia is going to be a yes, and I will try to take you with me somehow. I'm not sure, probably not with this whole camera gear, maybe just with my phone. Usually I travel very light, so I don't know. We will see those technical details. I'm sure you would be interested, and I kind of want to share the solo show and a bit of the traveling because it's quite intertwined with my art approach. This is something I must admit I tend to get lazy about, filming what inspires me, and I really want to show you. I just, I just need to do it. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you watched until the end, thank you so much. Leave a book emoji in the comment section below, so I know that you watch until the end, and then, I'm happy. It makes me really happy when you stay and watch everything I have to say, so thanks. And yeah, if you have anything to add, or if you're in Australia and if you want to meet me, that might become a thing. If you have any suggestion about the work I'm doing, the vlogs I'm doing, if you want to see more of certain things, yeah, just ask and I will try to oblige if it's doable. Have a lovely day or night or week, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!